I'm definitely not on spring break anymore. This sucks. I've had a lot of issues this semester, more than usual, with procrastination. Maybe it's senioritis. Maybe it's the fact that I've been in school for the majority of my life and it's finally killing my brain and my brain is just done with it. Whatever it is, it takes me so much more time and energy than usual to get very simple homework, school-related tasks done. There are a lot of things that I could easily do in 30 minutes or an hour, but it takes me like 3 hours to get it all done. Even if I put my technology away, even if I put my computer and my phone on the other side of the room and I just have my notebook and my textbook, I still find myself getting distracted really easily. I'll get up and just wander around my room, I'll start a load of laundry, I'll start playing with random things on my desk. I just don't focus anymore for some reason. It's been a difficult semester in different ways than other semesters have been difficult. And here's why. Failure. There, I said it. Does that mean I win? It'll stop now? A lot this semester I've had this very intense weight of failure just sitting on my shoulders, and I'm not just talking about failing a test. I'm graduating in less than 2 months. And in some ways I'm very happy about that. I'm very ready to be going into the next step of my life. I just don't know what step that is. Most of the time, I'm not too terribly worried. This big unknown time in my life that I will be experiencing, for the most part, has not worried me that much until very recently. I feel confident that something good will happen for me out there. Somewhere out there, something will happen for me that will make the unknown more known. But it is getting harder and harder to think about post-graduation. The more and more people I know make plans for their future. There are all these amazing people who are getting accepted to jobs and they're getting internships and they're going to grad school, and I really am excited and I'm proud of all of my friends. I know how exciting it must be to be embarking on the next step in your life and you know what that next step is, and it's also a huge relief. It's just a relief that I don't have right now. But the more and more people who have confirmed plans for their future, the harder it is for me to be okay with my uncertainty. With each additional post that someone makes on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever about the grad school they've been accepted to or the internship or the job they've gotten, but it just gets harder and harder to be excited and happy for those people when I am reminded of all of the internship applications that I've submitted that I've heard nothing back from. I think about the rejections that I've already gotten that I once brushed off as not being important. I'm reminded of this horrible paradox that exists in our country where in order for me to apply for a position I have to have 2 years of experience already, but in order for me to get experience I need that position. It's a lot to deal with. And this is something that I would say a lot of other people my age are dealing with as well. I'm sure there will come a time in the future when I look back on this moment and I look back on this period of my life and I wonder why I was so freaked out in the first place, but that still doesn't change the situation that I am currently in. I'm trying my best, but a lot of times I wonder if that is enough. Every now and then I get out of my own head enough to tell myself that other people's successes are not my failures. If I ran a marathon, which for the sake of this metaphor, let's just pretend that a world exists in which I would run a marathon, and I came in 98th place just because 97 other people finished that faster than me doesn't mean that I still didn't just run an entire marathon. Other people's successes are not my failures. For the past couple of years in my life, I've lived by this philosophy that life is not about the destination, it is about the journey. Because if it was about the destination is death, which I talk way too much about that. Anyway, life is about the journey, not the destination. And since my freshman year here, I've really latched on to this quote by Francois Rabelais. I think that's how you say his name. I go to seek a great perhaps. I've always thought of this quote as it being about turning uncertainty into adventure. That there is a perhaps in life, that there is a lot of maybes and uncertainty, but it is great. I've realized more recently though that it is a great perhaps. There's a very large perhaps in life. Perhaps I will get accepted to one of my internships. Perhaps Ellen will hire me. Perhaps I will live at home for a year nannying and waitressing until it all falls into place. Perhaps it will never fall into place. And that is why right now is so hard for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, because there's just so much that could happen and you don't know what it is. Perhaps I will fail. Perhaps I won't. And I don't know which will happen. Other people's successes are not your failures. This sucks. Cheers. Raise a glass.